Okay, hey there, yogis. This is Stephen Chang coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule as well as my payment information for Venmo and to PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab. And the four-digit ID code, if you're prompted for verification, is 8096. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and the videos are then uploaded to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. Please visit any of those platforms for classes 24/7 full access. If you're thinking about coming to in-studio classes, please visit my website again. Look for the section in pink lettering, and that has the instructions on how to pre-register for class. You do need to download a waiver, and then to e-sign the waiver, reattaching that to my email when you send it in for pre-registration. So it's a very important part of the process for liability as well as for contact tracing. So make sure you do that. Today's class is open flow. It is level 1, level 2. If you're working with injuries, special conditions, limitations, make sure that you are checking in and modify as you need, and skip any poses that are not appropriate for your condition, right? So always make some good decisions about what you should and should not do. For those of you with tighter hips, tight lower back, I highly recommend elevation. So sitting up tall makes the cross-leg position a lot more comfortable, a lot more accessible. Okay, let the palms face up, eyes come closed, lips touching. Let the hands come to Jnana Mudra from an index fingers touching. Through the breath, let the mind start to quiet. And let your inhales even out with your exhales. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer in front of the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for your yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Chanting the mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call a response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Bhushan, Sarva Bhushan, Gatotiwa, Gatotiwa, Yaha Smarit, Yaha Smarit, Pundrikaksham, Pundrikaksham, Sapahya, Sapahya, Ishyandraha, Ishyandraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Starting to open the eyes and let the palms face up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side. Elongate through the left side of the neck. And take a chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. And chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop the left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction, ear to one side. Roll it back, opposite side, roll the center. A few more rounds at your own pace. Take the chin back to center and pause. And then take in the opposite direction. And come back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine. Coming off your blocks, extending the legs forward, separating the feet. Turning your toes toward each other, and then roll out. Draw in, roll out, draw in. Outer rotation, circling. Back to center, switch them around, inner rotations. Come back to center again. Cross your shins, opposite shin on top. Raise the arms up high and extend. Twist to the right on the exhale. Come back to center, arms up. Other side. Back to center again. Side bends. Right hand down, left arm overhead. Back up to center, other side. Center again, legs forward, forward fold. Come back up. Bend your knees. Slide onto your back. Let's take a bridge pose. Walk the heels in. Feel for the back of the heels. Then press your heels down. Lift the feet up. And first, you can ground your palms to the floor. And using your arms for support, lifting of the hips. Gently start to lower almost all the way down. So you're still hovering. You're not coming all the way down. And then lift up again. Exhale, lower. So just articulating your spine a little bit. Inhale, lift up. And then this time, lower all the way down. Draw the knees in toward the chest and hug the knees in. Take a happy baby. Grab their outer feet. Right? So your arms are threading through the inner legs. And then let the feet be wide. Your feet are flexed. Heels are reaching up. As you use your hands to pull the feet down, your knees are reaching down. Try to also keep your lower back flat on the floor. And let's start to release. Step the feet to the floor about max width. Take the arms out slightly and then drop the knees over to the right side. Take the right foot and take it to the top of the left ankle, left knee. So you're taking ankles to knee, right outer ankle to the outer left knee. Step the right foot back down, take the knees back up, and drop the knees over to the other side. So it's windshield wipers, and then left hand to the outer right, left ankle to outer right knee. Sorry about that. Release your left foot back down. Take the knees back to center and hug the knees in once again. Let's take some circles with the knees in one direction. Take it back to center in stillness and go the other direction. Come back to center. Keep the left knee in. Extend the right leg out. Half happy baby. Grab the outer left foot. And then as you push your heel up, pull the left knee down, left foot down. So the left knee is reaching down. All right. Release. Let's take a twist. Left arm out to a T and twist to the right. Take it back to center. Yogic toe lock to the left big toe and extend. Now we need to keep the left knee bent and keep the left knee bent. Counterbalance with the right arm out to the side and ground the right arm to the floor so that as you move the left leg over to the left side, you have a point of grounding with your right arm. Gently take it back to center. The best of your abilities. Go grab the outside of the right foot with your left foot with your right hand. Extend, right? Of course, slight bending of the knees if you need to. If you can extend fully, and then you're going to twist over to the right. Take the left leg back to center, bend your left knee. A reclining half lotus. So top of the left foot to your right hip crease, and then take the left knee to draw down towards the floor, and keep holding your left foot with your right hand. Release. Hug both knees in again. Keep the right knee in, extend the left leg out. Happy baby. Threading the arm through the inner right knee to grab the outer right foot. But it's reaching up toward the sky as you pull with your right hand down. So going into the hip joint on the right side. And start to release. Take the right arm out and twist to your left. Left hand to the outer right knee. Gently take it back to center. Yogic toe lock to the right big toe. Full extension if you have it. If you don't, keep the right knee bent. Big counterbalance and ground the left arm out to the side in a T position as you start to open up the leg to the right side. Take full extension if you have it. If you don't, keep the right knee bent. Take the right leg back to center. Start with the right knee bent. Grab the outside of the right foot with your left hand. If you're able to fully extend, take the extension. If you cannot, then keep the right knee bending. Ground the right arm down and slowly rotate to the left. Begin to take it back up to center. Bend your right knee, a half lotus. Top of the right foot to your left hip crease, and then start to steer the right knee toward the floor. You can hold on to the right foot with your left hand. Release your right leg out. Draw the left knee in again. This time we'll take leg cradle. Bending your left knee with your hand. Support the left heel from the outside of the left ankle. Okay. Then extend the left heel up. Draw the left knee to the side and down towards the floor. So it's just a movement for the wider opening of the hips. Extend the left heel up. Draw the left knee to the side and down. Extend the left heel up. Draw the left knee to the side and down. Right? Holding it there. Then take the left leg across your torso. Maybe you can lift your upper back to thread the arms underneath the left shin. Make sure you flex your left foot, right? So you have to flex your left foot to engage it, keeping the ankle joint and the knee joint in place because you're pulling at your tibia, right? At your shins. So that creates a little bit of pressure to the outer left knee joint, right? So make sure you flex your foot, engaging the muscles to hold the joints in place, right? So as you lift, right, getting your arms in place, once you have a firm hooking of your left shin with your arms, then maybe start to recline back and get heavy through the upper back and the head. And drag that left leg with you best you can, right? If you're not very flexible, you might still be hovering, right? Still lifting here, that's okay. If you have more mobility, maybe you lean back. All right, lift back up, release. Now you're going to hike the left knee further over your shoulder if you can. And then let's lean back again. All right, so the left knee may steer out to side a little bit. That's okay for now. All right, lift back up, readjust your shoulder with your left knee. Then take the right hand to the top of the left foot, grabbing the outside of the left foot, and then thread the head past your arm, and then lean back. So all of this is for hip opening. And start to release. And let's take the half lotus again and steer the left knee forward and down. All right, release. Take the left leg out and draw the right knee in. Support the right heel from the outside of the ankle. Again, make sure your right foot is flexed. All right, you're going to move the right heel forward and up. Then draw the right knee out to the side and down. Extend the right heel forward and up. Draw the right knee to the side and down. One more. Extend up. Draw out to the side and down and hold it here. All right, so this is just to prepare for the hip opening. All right, take it across your torso. Lift the upper back and thread your arms to your right shin. Make sure you flex your right foot. Now, once you have a good strong hook, then maybe you start to get heavy. Perhaps your head can come down to the floor. Perhaps your upper back can come down to the floor as well. If that's not possible, keep hovering. Just keep some pressure and some weight to your right shin, right leg in general. All right, lift back up, readjust. Hook the right knee a little higher over your right shoulder. Then take the left hand to grab the top and outside the right foot, and that's your bind. Thread the head, pass your arm, and then lean back. Get heavy through your head and the upper back. All right, start to release. And then again, half lotus, top of the right foot to your left hip crease, and steer the right knee forward and down. And start to release, extend the right leg out, and then just kind of take some circles with your feet in one direction, taking the other direction. All right, draw the knees in, roll forward to a seated position, and then let's roll forward onto your shins. All right, so with your toes tucked under, press your feet back towards your heels, but also stretch your toes at the same time. Traction with your hands by pressing your hands firmly to the floor to push the weight back as you stretch your toes. Press into your hands, lift your knees, and your shins are about parallel to the floor and hover here. And let's draw the weight back in space. So you're still stretching your toes like crazy, right? Now stay on the stretching of the toes. Lengthen out the legs and lift the feet up high. Maybe even drop your head. You're high up on your tiptoes. Then bend your knees again. Shift the weight back. Lengthen out the legs. Bend your knees. Lengthen out the legs and take the heels down. And now you're in your down dog. Pedaling out your legs. All right, come back to stillness in your down dog. Raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward, left knee comes down, crescent moon, untuck the back toes. Walk your hands to top the thighs, and let's hinge the hips forward. Let's just stay here with your hands supporting. you're getting a really nice stretch through the front of the left quads, right? Into this part of your hips, right? And let's take the hands to the floor, to the inside of the right foot. Turn the right toes out at an angle. The right thigh also turns out at an angle. Walk your hands to the left side, so the opposite direction of where your legs are moving. And take the left forearm down and reach your right arm out. So keep the right knee, right thigh moving to the right, but your torso and your right arm moving to your left. So they're opposite directions. Walk your right hand back in, lift the torso back up. Walk your left hand in a little bit more. Raise your right arm up and take it behind you as you twist. Look past your right shoulder behind you. Keep the hips moving forward. So you're still getting the stretch through the front of the right hip, right quads, right? So you're not falling out to the side of the leg, you're reaching straight forward. Now you're going further. Bend your left knee, grab the inside of the foot, and kick back. So you're still leaning forward for a quad stretch, but you're kicking back. And that action stretches your right arm and gives you a deeper twist, a more stacking of your shoulders using that tension. Release your left foot down, raise your right arm up over the right ear, side stretch, and then threading the needle. Taking your right arm, threading underneath the left, bend your left elbow, take the right shoulder, right cheek towards the floor. Walk your hands back in. Turn the left heel in and sit on that left shin. Extend the right leg out. So you're elevated. You're not sitting all the way down on the back of the right leg. So you're elevated because you're sitting on your shin. Reach your right arm out to the side and side bend with the left arm overhead. Now, if you have a little bit more range, maybe your forearm comes down. If you have even more range, it could be a bind. Start to release and taking the opposite direction. Actually, more balanced would take the right foot down. Let's do that. And then let's thread the needle. Lift back up. You might even walk your left hand further away to create more space. So then as you thread the right arm underneath, your torso actually leans forward at an angle, right? And you can even lay on top of the left thigh for your twist. Start to release. Take it back up. Draw the right heel back in. Rotate it all the way back. And lengthen over the right leg. Pyramid. Bend your right knee, ground the back heel. Take the hand to the inside of the right foot. Extend it forward, extended side angle. Half bind. Left arm up and back. If you have the full bind, take the full bind. Release. Come up. Reverse warrior. Hands to the floor, right foot, stepping back, plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left heel up. Step the left foot forward, crescent moon, right knee comes down. So set up your legs, hands to top of the thighs, and let's just lunge forward. Right, so you're going into the stretch of the front of the right leg, the quads, going into your hips. And start to release the hands to the inside the right foot. Turn your left toes out at an angle. Left thigh also turns out. Then walk your torso and your hands over to the right. Right forearm comes down. Extend the left arm out to the right side. So your left knee moving over to the left side. Torso and your arms to the right. Begin to walk your hands back in. Keep the right hand a little bit wider. Raise the left arm up and behind you for the half bind to twist. And if you're going further, you can bind the left hand to right foot and make sure you kick the foot away. Continue to lean the hips forward for the quad stretch, but kick the right foot back for the twist and for the lengthening of the left arm. Begin to release. Raise your left arm up and overhead, left side stretch. And then threading the left arm underneath your right. As you move your left hand to your right side, start to bend your right elbow so that you can lower your left shoulder, left cheek toward the floor. Lift it back up, walk your hands back in. Turn the right heel in. You're going to sit on the right heel so you're on your shin. Extend the left leg out. So you're in a flex foot position. Your toes are pointing up. So you're going into hamstring stretch here, right? Also, make sure you're not sitting all the way down. So there is space between the bottom of the left leg and the floor. And you're going to start to side bend over to the left. All right? If you have a little bit more range, perhaps your forearm, left forearm down. If you have even more range, it could be a bind. Release, make your way back up. Let's ground the left foot. Right hand to the floor. Reach your left arm back in space. Lift back up, thread the needle. Left arm underneath your right. So again, your torso can start to lean over to the left. Maybe you can even lay your belly on top of your right thigh as you twist. Make your way back up. Supporting with your hands, draw the left heel back in. Frame the left foot, rotate your right heel back. Pyramid. Then bend your left knee, ground the back heel. Walk the left hand to the inside of the foot. Extended side angle, right arm reaching forward. Half bind. Full bind. Release. Come up. Reverse warrior. Hands to the floor, left foot stepping back. Inhale one breath. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale up dog. Exhale down dog. Inhale. Come forward into your plank. Exhale all the way down to the belly. Take the forearms down. Left leg out to the side. So your legs are roughly 90 degrees. All right. Lift the elbows up. Now, if you have it in you, walk it in a little bit. Bend your right knee. Reach back to the left hand. Kick back and twist. Square back to center. Lower back down. Reach your right hand further forward. Thread the left arm underneath. Lower the left shoulder down. All right? Taking universal bind. Flip the right palm to face up. Bend your right elbow. Then make a connection between your left hand facing up and the right hand reaching back and down to take the bind with your hands. And then folding forward. So this is a universal bind with your arms. So your arms are in the universal bind. The legs are, I don't know what to call this, T-shape, T-stand, kickstand. Now kickstand would be standing up. So this is like a T-stand. Fallen T-stand with universal arms, universal bind. All right, let's break. Walk it back in, tuck the right toes under, step it back, down dog. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Lower onto your belly, arms forward for the shape of Sphinx, and then reach your right leg out to the side, and you're in this T shape, right? Then press into your hands. Lift the upper back. Walk your left hand in a little bit closer. Bend your left knee. Reach back with your right hand. And kick it back behind you. Release. Take it back down. Thread the right arm underneath. Lower the right shoulder. Extend the left arm forward. Flip the palm. Then as you reach up, the palm faces back. Then bend your right elbow. Connect your left hand facing back and down, and the right palm facing up. And chin toward the right shoulder. Legs are roughly 90 degrees. Universal bind with your fallen T-stand. Release your binds. Walk it back in. Swing the right leg back. Child's pose. Take it back to down dog. Lizard, raise your right leg up. Step the right foot forward to outside the right hand. Now, if you're a little bit more flexible, right toes point straight forward, right knee lines up with the heel, vertical line. Right? So you can stay there. If you need a little bit of help with flexibility, then turn the right toes out and the right thigh also turns out. This rotation into your hips will make it a lot easier for you to take this pose. And walk your hands forward about a foot. Now, this is your limit with flexibility. Stay here. If you can lower your forearms, lower your forearms. Of course, if you need to use your blocks, and you have blocks or books or blankets, anything to help you elevate, this works well. All right? If you don't have any props, but you need higher positioning, then keep your arms extended. All right? Then you also have the option of the back leg. If your toes are tucked under, left knee is off the floor, and you're reaching back, so it's an active lizard. If you want to take the left knee down and untuck the toes, that works too. But the hips are moving forwards and downwards still. And this is a little bit more kind of like passive in your stretch, whereas this is much more active. Either is fine. Now, sometimes I like to kind of rock forward and back just to kind of feel for all the work going into the hips. All right, everyone, take your left knee down. Walk your hands back in and shift back into your half split. We're going to work into a split. So in a half split, you're shifting back with the hips over your left knee, vertical line with the left upper leg, your left thigh. So this is a preparation for your right hamstrings to give you that flexibility. We've been working a lot with the hips and flexibility up until this point, right? And maybe not that much with the hamstrings yet, although we'll hit several places with some hamstrings. All right, let's step the right foot back down, walk the right foot a few inches further forward, and then lean forward again. So now you're deepening into your hips again. And then you're going to shift it back one more time to your hamstring stretch. The next time you come forward, you're going to start to work into your split. All right, so before you come forward, start to feel lightness on your right heel so that as you slide the foot forward, you're not tractioning into your mat, right? So be light on that heel and slide forward. Now, after you take it forward a little bit, you can also slide the left knee further back. Right heel forward, left knee back. So keep working forward and back until perhaps you have a full split. If you do not have a full split, you cannot come all the way down, that is okay. Stay higher up. And then if you have a block can go underneath your right hamstrings, right? So this is a very nice place for you to place your block. Some people like to place it on their seat. Either is fine. I tend to like it better on my hamstrings. I kind of feel like this gives me the support to the hamstrings I need on those days I do need it, okay? Two more breaths. All right, so we're working with deep, slow flexibility today, primarily on hips and then some hamstrings, right? We've done some back bending, but not a lot of back bending. We're concentrating mostly on the hips. That's kind of how it's evolving today. All right, so let's maximize the benefits of working into the poses that require that flexibility. All right, at the beginning on the reclining poses, all that was about hips. All right, let's start to release. Lift back up. So again, be light on this front heel so that when you slide back, you're not dragging onto the mat. Then step the right foot back down and lunge forward with your hands supporting. Tuck the left toes under and step the right foot back. And my favorite way of neutralizing is extending Balasana. Heels together, toes apart, bend the knees and just draw the seat toward the heels and fold here. And just sink into that hip opening. All right. Re-extend. Walk it back to your down dog and take some movement again, side to side. All right, lizard. Left leg up. Step the left foot forward to the outside of the left hand. So again, if you're a little bit more flexible in the hips, your left toes point straight forward, knee lines up over the heel, vertical line. If you need a little bit of help, then the toes turn out, left thigh also turns out about the same angle. Then walking your hands forward by about a foot. Now, you're moving your hips forwards and downwards. If you're not very mobile, then perhaps your arms are extended, that's all you're doing. If you are able to take the forearms down, that's what you're working with. And of course, if you're working with blocks, you can take it here. Now, wherever you are, the right knee off the floor, right heel stretching back, toes tucked under. So that's your active lizard. If you want to take it more passively, right knee comes down, untuck the toes, hips are still moving forwards and downwards, but you're just not as active in that right leg to hold up weight. Right? So you have many options. And then finally, I added the option of just rocking forward and back, really feeling for the range of motion going into the hips as you take this rocking. All right, wherever you are, right knee comes down. Untuck the toes. No, sorry, tuck the toes. Come back up, going into the half split, preparing us for the full split. So right toes are tucked under. Line up the hips with the right knee, stretching of your left hamstring. Right, so for those of us who don't naturally have a lot of flexibility, I highly encourage for you to learn all the preparation that goes into helping you to open things up before you get into the deeper poses, right? So for split, there are all these things I like to do before we get into the split. And with each pose, you're adding more and more flexibility, you're preparing the muscles, you're preparing all the different parts of your body to get into the pose, right? So for those of us who are not particularly flexible, we need the preparation, right? Step the left foot back down, inch your left foot further forward by a few inches, and then lunge forward again. So now we're going into the hips, right? So now you're going back into opening of the hips, then we go back into the opening of the hamstrings, and then we're going to take the full pose of your split, your Hanumanasana. All right, let's come back again one more time in the half split. So as we're holding this, think that when you start to move forward, you're going to be light on this front heel so that you're not tractioning onto your mat. You're just gently sliding forward. Take it a little bit forward, and then take the right knee further back, left knee forward, right knee back, and that's how you kind of like inch your way into the full split. All right, so as you're ready, slide the left heel further forward, into right knee further back. Slide the left heel forward, right knee back, and just keep working in that manner until you come into your split. If you're not taking the full split, you can keep your hands supporting as you keep hovering in space. You can use your blanket or your blocks to go underneath the left hamstrings or your left feet. Either is fine. If you are taking the full split, then think about squaring, right? Sometimes we tend to kind of fall over to one side and favor one side. Make sure you gently coax the body back into center so that you're pressing a little bit more evenly between your left and your right leg. And it's easy for us to fall to the left right now. So you have to draw it back to center. Right? Go easy on the hips, on the hamstrings, whatever you're sensitive with, right? All right, so before you make your way out, think again. Light on the front heel so that when you slide back, you're not tractioning too much onto your mat. So lift up, start to make your way back. Step the left foot back down, come back to the lunge, and step the left foot all the way back. Extended Malasana, heels together, toes apart, bending at the knees, and fold. Take it back to your down dog, and again, pedal out. And let's take the knees down and take Virasana. Inner thighs, knees together. Walk your feet wider than your hips. If you're able to sit all the way down because you have the mobility in your knees and your quads, then sit all the way down. Your feet should be wider than your hips. Now, if you're not able to do that, like I'm not able to do that, I just don't have the range, I need to sit on a block, or a blanket, and that elevation gives me a comfortable place where then I can lean the weight back, but keep my inner thighs together, keep my knees toward each other, and then sitting up tall, right? So you want to have the space in between your outer hips with your inner heel. So you should be able to insert your hands here, and that's the shape of Virasana. Otherwise, you're in a kneeling position, right? If your heels are together and you're sitting on it, then that's not what we're doing, right? This is Virasana. Your feet are wider than your hips, right? So that when you recline back, you're sitting down, going into a deep quad stretch, knee stretch. All right, so this is in general the opposite direction of a lot of hip opening. This is actually going internally, right? So it's actually not hip opening. I don't think there's such a thing as hip closing, right? But the action is the opposite of hip opening. You're rotating inwards, inner rotation with your thighs. And that's a little bit more compressive to the inner hips, but it is expansive to the outer hips and the glutes. Right? And this is just taking the opposite rotation from so much of what we've been doing up until this point. So we're just trying to balance it out a little bit. All right, let's start to break. Now, as you come out of this pose, you're going to feel a rush of blood going through your legs, right? So make sure that you realize that. Tuck the toes under, and then start to lengthen out. Oh. I sometimes even feel coldness, right, through my legs. So gentle movement side to side, and getting circulation back to the legs. All right, so by now you should be pretty good. We're going to take pigeon, left leg up. So again, we're going back into the outer rotation in pigeon, right? Which is the opposite of what we just did, inner rotation. Left leg up, draw the left knee in, left leg out to side. You see, this is outer rotation. Inch your right knee further back, untuck the toes. Walk your hands back, elongate through the spine, make sure you're nice and level. And when you're ready, make your way forward into the forward fold. Pigeon. Alrighty, yogi's option, whatever you want to do here, right? You can stay in the pigeon. You can come up for your mermaid binds, hand to foot binding with a back bend. You can stay in the forward fold, twist to one direction, twist to the other direction. You can invert however you like. So tonight I will do the classic headstand, but I'm going to transition with a pointed left leg to come up. Okay, so I'm going to set up, classic headstand, head to the floor. I'm going to reposition the left foot to go behind me like this. You see, I'm going through this pointed toe position. And with this pointed toe position, I'm going to raise the right leg up, lengthen out the leg, slide it in, and then take the inversion. Sorry about getting half naked in front of you. I lost my t-shirt here. And then to come out, try to think about using the same technique. Pointed toe position, lower the shin. Make your way back up through that pigeon. All right, let's start to make your way back to your down dog and walk it out side to side. All right, second side, right leg up. Draw the right knee in, line the shin to the floor, inch your left knee further back, untuck the toes, lower your feet, walk your hands back, elongate through the spine, and make your way forward. I'll exercise some discretion by tucking my t-shirt in first. So you're taking first a passive pigeon, just allowing breath and gravity to give you some hip opening before you start to work on your variations. All right, so again, when you're ready, go ahead and repeat the variations you took. So again, I'm going to take classic headstand. The transition is, I'm going to raise the opposite leg up for steering, but the supporting leg will stay in a pointed toe position. And so I'm going to use the tops of my feet and my toes to help me leverage weight into my inversion. So as I lift up a little bit, I'm going to reposition my foot to point the toes back and the shins straight back. Then the forearms come down to my classic headstand foundation. And raising the legs up. And when I'm ready to come down, using the split as a counterbalance, keep the right toes pointed and lower right back to my pigeon. Alrighty. When you're ready to break, start to draw back up. Tuck the left toes under, press it back to your down dog, and pedal out, walk it out side to side. When you're ready, walk your feet forward towards your hands, take the feet down, extend the arms out, slide onto your back. Right, coming back to the beginning of class, draw the left knee in, twist to the right. Okay, so the beautiful thing about taking recline twisting at the end of classes, it really is quite wonderful, and it really quiets down the senses, giving you one last stretch in a rotation through your spine to create that space so that when you lay down, it's really nice. All right, come back to center, switch legs, switch arms, twist to the other direction. Take it back to center again. Hug both knees in. And when you're ready, step the feet to the floor. Slide the legs forward. Shavasana. Relaxation. Begin to draw the breath back in. And start to move the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite direction. And when you're ready, roll over to the right and come up to a comfortable cross-leg position. Reconnecting to an even seat, a lengthy spine, shoulders broad, grip deep. And let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. And together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing in the practice. Inhale, come up. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing the practice with me tonight. Please visit my website again, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab. And the 4-digit ID code, if you're prompted for verification, is 8096. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and then I'm uploading those same videos to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. So make sure that if you are checking any of those, make sure if you're taking any classes, please go to any of those platforms for classes 24/7 full access. If you are thinking about coming to in-studio classes, again, visit the website. There's a section with pink lettering, and those are for those are instructions for pre-registering for class. There is a waiver you need to download, and then also e-sign. When you send me your email for pre-registration, reattach that that waiver with your signature. That's very important. Okay, so thank you again for your time. Be well. Take care.